Again, Zavi, just hit the button. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We hope it is good. I hope you are doing well. None of us are doing well here at Geeks Who Like Sports, but I hope you are doing better than we are.
Why?
I am Ray Carsillo in beautiful Los Angeles, California. You have a best friend over in suffering Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Elias.
That's not the Mets.
For those of you who are listening and not in all his Philly gear, he is distraught still over his Phillies just being the only team to get a bye and absolutely crap the bed. So,
hey everybody, good to see you. I'm back.
That was my moment
of mourning. Ray, I bought this gigantic Philadelphia Fanatic necklace. For those of you listening, it is bulbous and gigantic. I don't know how I'm going to get it up over my headphones here. And I bought it to celebrate the NLCS birth that the Phillies were going to have. I have my Bryce Harper looking at Arcia picture from last year here, just ready to win, Ray. And it didn't happen.
No, it did not happen.
It didn't happen. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was faking that crying, there's a little spice of realness in that for me, because that was brutal.
That was rough. I mean, you just want to kick the show off with baseball?
I think we have to, Ray.
Right.
So listen, I'll be honest. Yeah, it very. I know people want to know my thoughts. Very disappointing to lose to the Mets. In true Lee Elias fashion, I have to give credit to the Mets. They showed up. They played small ball. They did everything they needed to do to win that series. The Phillies bats went pretty silent. Didn't do what we need to do. Did not have that killing spirit, as one of my friends calls it. Killer instinct. And we became a victim of, and I'm doing this, Ray, I'm saying this because I stick with my words here, right? We became a victim of exactly what I gave the Braves crap for last year, of we were not ready to play a playoff series mentally. Yeah. The Mets have been playing playoff baseball for 2 months.
Yep.
And that obviously carried over. They are hungry. They are still hungry. Yes. Obviously, we're sitting here with that series tied with them and the Dodgers.
Yep.
After a complete shellacking both nights, I guess, backwards.
Yeah, the Dodgers slacked them in game 1, 9-0, and then Mets answered with a 7-3 win in game 2.
So the question could be asked, Lee, now that you're a victim of this playoff situation, do you still agree with what you said last year in terms of teams not being prepared? My answer is yes. I like this. You need to train your team to be prepared for a bye and how to beat a wild card team. That's part of the action now. Traditionalists are like, this would never have happened years ago. You're right. It wouldn't have. It's happening now. You need to prepare yourself. The Phillies were not prepared. There's going to be massive changes in that lineup.
Yeah.
Some of the not $400 billion a year guys are probably going to be shipped out here. And it's probably the right move to make because Ray, it was tough. I will say the only nice thing was I was at the one game we won in that series. It was a great game. One of the best baseball games I've ever been to. But I can't believe I'm saying this. Power to the Mets in terms of winning that series. You did what you had to do. It's the Mets fans, Ray. I can't stand. To be fair, I'll say this. I had one Mets fan who may listen to the show, actually. Maybe we'll make this a mini clip. And he was taunting me the whole series, and good on him. But my favorite moment was he kept sending me all these clips of cliche Philadelphia fans being horrible. And he goes, "You can't even defend this." And I just mic dropped him and went, "You're right. I'm not going to. Stay out of Philadelphia." And he had no response to that. I did wish him the best after he won.
Yeah, no, I mean it's you guys like you said.
Now?
Yeah, you sure?
I'll save it for the season. I'm not going to open this till we win the World Series.
I mean, the thing is, and the point is that you mentioned it. You guys weren't ready, and the thing is, everybody complaining about the bye. The Phillies were the only team that got a bye that didn't win. The Yankees won. The Dodgers won.
It can be done.
Yes. The Guardians won. Now, yes, it took the Dodgers and Guardians 5 games, but that could have happened anyway.
But that's all. That's what you want to see. Like, that's not a bad thing, right? It's just like the Mets showed up, and again, the Phillies' Achilles heel is they do not play small ball. I don't understand. We cannot rely on home runs, and you could see it. They were looking for home runs the entire series. I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's ego. I don't know if it's just that's who we are. But they better find a way to get some, not only people on base, but get them home. Can't blame the starting pitching. Can't even blame the bullpen. They've been good all season. Everybody's looking for someone to blame, obviously, right now. Truth is this. You got to sit back. You got to look at the team and look at the pieces because they're close. They're still close, and they're still very much within a window for a few years here. But we will see what happens. Those Mets fans are going to be unbearable if they beat the Dodgers.
Yes, which is why I'm rooting for the Dodgers.
I am too. We're not SEC fans here. We don't go within our division.
No. And I'll say this also for several reasons. I want to see the Dodgers win, at least the pennant, right? I want Yankees Dodgers. I've never seen Yankees Dodgers in my life.
I get
it. It'd be good for baseball.
It'd be great for baseball. 100% agree with that. You can't deny that. Although Mets Yankees, I'll be saying it, Ray. Mets Yankees is not a bad series either. Subway Series is always one that people love. I do believe the nation would watch that. I don't not as much as if it's Dodgers Yankees,
right?
But Yankees Mets is never a bad World Series matchup. We found that out back in what was it 01?
2000
right. That was Diamondbacks in 01. In 2000, yes. So you win either way if you make the World Series right now. If Cleveland makes it.
Well, if Cleveland makes it, I'm rooting for Cleveland. I'm going to be honest.
The Guardians,
Cleveland hasn't won since 1948.
Well, again, this is different. We're not talking interdivision. We're just talking same league. So I'm with you.
Right, and also, but I'm also talking about history here. I think it'd be great to see, Cleveland almost won in.
Go try Guardians. Tribe.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think they call themselves tribe anymore. So.
Well, listen, Yankees LA would be the best possible outcome.
That's what baseball's rooting for right now. Yankees up 1-0 in that series. They beat Cleveland 5-2 in game one.
All right in front of them, Ray. You're gonna eat some crow here, buddy.
I will be happy.
I know you
will.
If
we win it all, I will get all the gear. I will dance. I will do everything.
I'm gonna make you an effing T-shirt that says it's all right in front of us.
Yeah, I want
Aaron Boone,
the Yankees to win. It's just the last 6 years under Aaron Boone says they won't.
I know, and the best part is if they win, you'll get another 6 years under Aaron Boone.
Well, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But
he would have been fired by now under Steinbrenner, but you would have won by now too.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing is, yeah. By the way, I also just noticed while we're recording here, by the way, that's the wrong overlay on our show here. I just realized.
This is the mashup. What are you talking about?
This is not the mashup. This is Geeks Who Like Sports.
Okay.
It's all good. We're 7 minutes into the episode. We're not going to restart now. So, but sorry, Zavi, I had to call you out there, buddy.
Is that a thumb or a middle finger? It was a thumb. Okay.
Okay. I can't tell. I can't see from
There you
Philadelphia.
go.
I can't see all the way to Philadelphia. So
it's all right.
We could have fixed it in post.
We could have fixed it in post, but we'll let you call it out.
I had to call these things as I see them. I'm a play-by-play
the show's all right in front of us.
I'm a play-by-play man. I call it as I see it.
You are a play-by-play man, and no matter whether we want to hear it or not, you are a play-by-play.
That's right. We'll be at the grocery store, and Lee makes the left here with the shopping cart, and he's going to go down the.
I do wish, Ray, that especially when we were in college, I do wish people could be a fly on the wall in a car with us, because it's just Ray with a tremendous amount of road rage and me just kind of laughing at him the entire time. Incredibly calm, just incredibly fine. And Ray's going nuts, and I'm just like, it's okay, man. What do you get? Why did you turn there? Why did you turn there? It's like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we do a podcast now. It's called Mashup Geeks Who Like Sports.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yeah, Yankees looked good in game one of the ALCS. They handled Kansas City as they should have. They handled them in 4 games. Cleveland and Detroit. Detroit ran out of gas. They looked like another one of those teams of destiny, but they did not have the pitching. And honestly, this is the thing with the Dodgers too, is that all these teams are using bullpen games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a little worrying. And I mean, the reason why Yankees Mets might happen is because we're the only 2 teams remaining with actually fully healthy rotation.
I'm going to tell you this right now. All right. And I am going to speak from experience. And I hate everything that I'm about to say. I've been watching the Mets. That is not a team that's happy to be there. They believe they are the best team in the league right now. They believe they can be World Series champs. The Tigers had a very just happy to be here.
Yes.
Look. It's not a shot at Detroit. I'm just telling you. I obviously was watching the Mets and the Phillies pretty closely.
Yeah.
The faces I'm seeing are not guys that are happy to be there. They want blood. They want to win the World Series. They believe they can win the World Series. And honestly, if they can shut down Ohtani, which is a big, tall ask, because he wants it too. All right, I'm not. The Dodgers want.
Well, that's the thing. Ohtani hit in Game 1, and they won 9-0. So
that's what's going to happen. It's if they can shut him down, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Now you could say that about anybody with the Dodgers. I mean, the truth is that the support staff has to show up no matter what. But I'm going to say it: the Mets do look hungry, and I know that look. It doesn't guarantee anything, Ray, but I know that look. And if they somehow do make it and defeat the Yankees, if the Yankees should make it, you and I are not going to be able to handle that. I don't know what we're going to do.
That is the worst in what has been amounting to the worst year of my life so far.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Ray. Jeez, there's that play-by-play again.
That would absolutely be the nail in the coffin. Yeah.
That would be the poop on the popsicle. Yeah, that's another T-shirt we can make. I do want to say this too. It's not the Mets athletes. It's the fans.
It's not the Mets athletes are actually you could root for the team.
Yeah.
The fan base is insufferable.
Yes. That's a good word.
For a fan base that has not won anything in 40 years.
Yes.
That has only 2 World Series in their history.
Yes, it is the inferiority complex personified.
Yes. So I want to remind them that even should they win this year, they are still, as a fan base, inferior to everybody else.
In terms of wins and losses, yes. I will say this.
Yes.
I will say this, that the inferiority complex is a real identity. The New Jersey Devils fan base has it. The Mets have it. And you guys love it. And it is such an eye roll to the rest of us. And here's the thing. How can I defend that? Philadelphia fans are horrible. We know. We embrace it. And you can't hate my team more than me. I say that all the time. That's our identity. Ray's identity is 27 world championships. And there's nothing any of us can do about it. Not one thing the rest of us can do about it. You want to know why Montreal Canadian fans talk so much crap? Because they have 23
World Stanley Cups.
Because you can do that when we haven't won in a long time. Doesn't matter. When you have that many championships, you can do it. That's why Yankee fans, you're not insufferable. You're annoying, but you can talk all you want because you're used to winning.
Yes. Right? And the thing is that as much as a lot of people hate Yankee fans, and I know this when I go to Dodger Stadium and other stadiums, they always say, as annoying as you guys are, you are the most knowledgeable fans, not just about your team, but generally about baseball in general, because a quarter of baseball's history goes through us.
Right. Well, I'm going to say this too. Here's a little quick mashup, right? This is going to be actually super sports controversial, what I'm about to say. I can deal with Midwest teams whose fans are very nonchalant. Even the hardcore fans are nice. Yes. You know, you look at a team like the Dodgers, it's like, are you there all year? Some of you are, some of you aren't. I can live with it. All right. But I think I'm going to create right now the ultimate antithesis fan. And it is a fan of the Mets, the Devils, the Nets, and the Jets.
Yeah.
Am I right here?
Yeah. No,
that's why would you ever want to do that to yourself?
Yeah. You're it's like a black hole of fandom. Like no positivity, no light can ever enter that realm.
You're already complex. Just like, oh, my teams are great. Well, the Mets have 2 world championships.
Yes.
The Nets have
none.
0. The Devils have 3.
3.
Okay. And respectable, but 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And the
you
Jets
don't have 5 like the Rangers.
4.
And the
Rangers
Jets
should have had 5, but have 4.
Is it?
Rangers only have 4. Rangers
4. It's still 1 more. And then then you have the Jets. That
one.
I mean,
the one with finger wag from Joe Willie Namath 50 years ago still represents the one championship.
For those of you listening, are we right? Are we right? That has got to be the most insufferable fan in the world, because the inferiority complex of that fan it's like you don't want to be next to them.
No.
Right?
No. their very presence is just off-putting.
This is going to be the best mini clip we've ever done.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh man, we're gonna get a lot of haters. That's fine. Come at us.
Let them come.
Let them.
I
Let
get
them
every
come
day on TikTok and Twitch. Let them come. They have nothing they stand. Again, I tell them all the time, you could win the World Series this year. The Jets could finally win the Super Bowl.
That's not going
to happen. And
it
would still be like, okay, nicely done, little brother. Go away now. Yeah. Whatever. Bye-bye.
All right. Now that we've completed that mashup, let's turn to college football, because here's the deal. There were, again, some upsets this week, but Ray, a lot of close calls this week.
Yes.
Of ranked teams winning. But man, this is what, how many weeks in a row is this? This is awesome.
Yeah, no, every week seems to be something new.
Penn
there are a couple of
standings, Ray. Yeah. Penn State's crawling up.
Slowly but surely, yeah. Arizona State beat Utah. That's probably your big upset. Unranked beating a ranked again. LSU 13 beating 9. Ole Miss not as much. Oregon beating Ohio. This was the game of the week, right? Oregon number 3, Ohio number 2. Obviously, a loss here doesn't, kill either of these teams. Another top 4 ranking here. Another quote unquote possible playoff matchup early in the season.
Yep.
And I mean, the sad thing is this was an amazing game. Oregon wins 32-31. The thing that everybody's talking about, though, is the terrible time management by Ohio State's quarterback, who with 6 seconds left scrambles for 5 yards, slides down, turns to the ref to call his last time out, and he's like, the game's over.
Yeah, it was brutal.
There's no time left.
Even LeBron texted about it.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, like you gotta understand the
You
situation.
go to college, right?
Yeah, and like how long, you know how long 6 seconds are? You understand how long 6 seconds are? He clearly did not.
He didn't.
And
clock ran out.
Yeah, and did not get a chance to throw up at least even a Hail Mary or something, or try a miracle field goal. So it's a shame, because that was a great back and forth game, but everybody's just talking about the end there.
Yeah, and again, look, they didn't lose on that play. Play ended the game. That's how you would want to say that. But like, Ray, I'm looking at the rankings right now. Number 1, Texas, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, and Georgia. That's your top 5. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Those are all powerhouses. They should all be the top 5.
Yeah. I mean, and then you notice that in the top 12, right? And this is where it gets funny. This is where a little politics might be playing into it. Because you've got several 6-0 teams that are not in the top 12.
Yeah.
But when you look at the rest of it, you got Miami, you got Bama, LSU, ISU, Clemson, Tennessee, and Notre Dame. It might be a little bit of politics going into that, because Brigham Young is 6-0. All right. Yeah. Indiana 6-0. Pittsburgh is 6-0. And Army is 6-0 and ranked.
Yeah, and they should all be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Navy's 5-0, and they're ranked.
I will always say an undefeated team should be ahead of a team that has a loss.
I do. Look, I'll tell you this. I'll disagree with you slightly. I do agree with strength of schedule, right? Because you could be undefeated and be playing nobody. All right. But the thing I don't understand is, like, I shouldn't say I don't understand. It's tough for me when you have so many 6-0 teams, and it's like, I wish we could throw a game in, like a flex schedule of like, okay, Army, you know what? You're 6-0. You're going to play Penn State this week. But
I mean, we know Army will play Navy at some point. So
right, and again, both ranked. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens.
Long time since that's happened. Long time since that's happened.
Biggest jump this week is LSU jumping up 5 spots.
Yeah,
and Ole Miss dropped 9 spots. Yeah,
them beating Ole Miss was a big game. That was a big game. Also, Texas. You mentioned Texas number 1. Texas wins the Red River game, of course, against Oklahoma, which of course in dominant fashion. Again, 1 versus an 18, and that looked like 1 versus an unranked. Like Texas just steamrolled. Oklahoma did not know what hit them. Like, holy cow.
I will tell you this, and again, from Pennsylvania. So Penn State has Wisconsin this week, and then they'll be playing Ohio State soon. But again, just getting in the playoffs now is what you got to do. That's their last ranked game of the season as of right now, is Penn State, Ohio State. That's going to be a huge game.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of big games coming up on the schedule. But we're about the halfway point now for college football, right? 6 games. Yeah. That's about halfway point.
This might be the best college football season I've seen ever.
I think awesome. It is.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's working. Yeah. And I just want to say, Florida State, we haven't forgot that they screwed you over last year.
Yep.
Just wanted to mention that.
Yep. And now you're going to be nowhere near.
Yeah. That was your time.
Yep. That was and that's the thing. That's with college football, is that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Every 4 years, you're going to have roster turnover, and how you recruit and how you develop. And
this feels better. This feels better. And again, with NIL in there too, I still maintain that's having a big effect on this.
100%. Oh yeah, the transfer portal, all of that. Absolutely. Speaking about folks transferring and moving around, this happened. This broke this morning. This breaking news. Boop, 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 boop. We go to the NFL.
Was that your typing sound? It's 12:21, top of the hour on WRAY radio.
10-10 wins here in New York City. Devontae Adams is going as expected from the Raiders to the Jets for a third round pick, conditionally if he were to be on the roster and the Jets make the AFC Championship, or he becomes a first all around NFL team that turns into a second round pick.
That's an interesting caveat.
Yeah, so I think the biggest one is if the Jets make the AFC Championship, it'll become a second round pick. But I don't think that's going. I honestly am not. I don't think it's going to happen.
It would. I mean, that'd be a miracle.
They're 2-4. I think Devontae Adams is obviously going to be a shot in the arm for the offense. It gives Rodgers some more comfort, but
they're still the Jets.
They're still the Jets.
We said the same thing. They're still the Jets. Yeah, we'll see. Look. Next game's make or break now. Like you have to start winning. There's no excuses. Again, you're a week past Saleh being fired. You have to win now, right now.
Yeah, that's it. You have no more excuses. You literally got rid of. You fired your last excuse, and now you take on the Steelers on Sunday Night Football in a massive game because, again, like you said, if they lose this, they drop to 2-5. Oh, and now they lose another tiebreaker to another team that's probably going to be in the playoff picture because the Steelers are 4-2 after their win this week.
Well, I would say, too, this is a winnable game for the Jets, but they have to show up.
They have to show up. They have to show up. This isn't going to be easy, but again, on Sunday Night Football, which, by the way, by the way, thank you to all the folks who came out this past Sunday to see me do comedy instead of watching the comedy of errors that was the Giants and Bengals. What an awful, awful game that was. My comedy definitely was way better than that game.
I agree. I agree with you.
That was when, again, I knew this was going to be a terrible game. I told everybody, I said, Daniel Jones can't win in prime time. He's now 1-14, which is the worst record ever. Dude can't win under pressure. Everybody's like, Daniel Jones. I said, it was a flash in the pan. He had 2 good games. He reverted to form. He looked awful.
Yet somehow not the worst loss in the NFC East this week, right?
No.
We'll get to that soon.
Something that made Sunday night's loss. Because again, I've already checked out on the Giants season. I already know this. We're not going anywhere.
You had your slight glimmer of hope, as most fans do. You were reserved with it. It passed. You're there. I'm in a very weird position with my team. We'll talk about them in a minute. But can we talk about the one thing that made everybody happy this week in the NFC East?
The Dallas Cowboys. I'll say this, Lee. We joked in the standings about how the Giants used to the Giants, the way the Giants could be third. I'll tell you why the Giants could be third, because Dallas might end up in last place. Because holy cow, the Cowboys. Now, obviously, Detroit came out to make a statement. They came out on a mission. But the Lions, who, again, one of the creme de la creme of the NFC, one of the favorites to win the conference, absolutely demolished Dallas in every facet of the game, 47-9. It is the worst loss in Cowboy history since Jerry Jones bought the team. We're talking in 40 years, folks.
And it was his birthday.
It was his birthday, and it was in Dallas. Yeah. And Detroit just marched in there and said, you are just in our way. Get out of our way. You are not worthy of the playoffs.
Well, and now Dallas right on pace for our 500 prediction for them. With Dallas fans, Ray, look, they're prideful fan base in Dallas. What I don't understand is when they're going to really come out against the team now. Because, this is enough. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm like, dude, I don't believe in this team anymore.
No.
Right? I can say that about the Eagles at times. I mean, I don't know why it's such. The thing with Cowboys fans, they never seem to be anti-Cowboys in terms of critical of their own team. I think it's time to start being critical of your team.
Yeah.
All right. Again, look, you can turn it around, but you get stomped like that.
Yeah.
That's a statement.
I'm surprised that Mike McCarthy didn't lose his job the way that Robert Saleh did.
Yeah, I am too. I thought Jones might have blown a casket.
I thought he might have been that would have been it for him. That he's done. Like this was embarrassing. Like I mean, and this also, by the way, our heart goes out to Aiden Hutchinson, the superstar defensive end for the Lions, who broke his leg in just a fluke play, and you hope for a speedy recovery. He's probably gonna miss the rest of the year, but you never know nowadays. Maybe he'll be able to make a come back for a playoffs or something. But just leading the league in sacks at the time, and just fingers crossed. But that defense, even without him, just continued to completely demolish that Cowboy offensive line that used to be one of their strengths. Dak was running for his life the whole game. Nobody could make a catch. Nobody could hold on to the ball. And then they couldn't stop. And the Lions were having fun. We're going to pull out all our trick plays. We're going to throw it to the right tackle. We're going to throw it to the left tackle. Oh, we're going to do a flea flicker.
I'm gonna say this too. Look, the differential is not typically the best stat to look at, but it is telling because if you have a negative differential, it's highly unlikely you will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
As of today, they have the third worst differential in the NFC. Now, a lot of it's because of the score of the last game.
Sure.
All right. But just to give everybody context, the Giants differential is negative 25. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys, as of today, is negative 42. The only teams ahead of them is Carolina with a negative 100. and the Rams have a negative 45. And when you look at the entire NFC East, only the Commanders have a positive differential right now. Now, again, I will reiterate, this is not a stat you look at as how successful your team is doing.
Sure.
But it is a telling stat.
To your point, if it's rare for a team with a negative differential, if they do make the playoffs, they're a cusp wild card team.
Right. Now, with that said, everyone in the NFC North has a high positive differential right now, which is not surprising. They're all good.
They're all above 500. They're all 4-2 or better. And that's the other thing, too, is that Dallas has to be looking at this like, where's a playoff spot for the Cowboys right now?
You don't have one.
They don't have one.
Yeah.
You're at this rate, you're gonna have the Bears be the last wild card because they are also 4-2 after going to London and putting a shellacking on the Jaguars. Like, boy, did Caleb Williams, aside from that one play, everybody keeps pointing at that one play and then forgetting that Chicago won by 4 touchdowns. Yeah. And it's like where he accidentally threw to his own offensive line or whatever. It's like, okay, he made a mistake in a game they dominated.
Right.
Like, again, big picture here, folks. The Bears looked good. And Caleb Williams in that offense has gotten better week to week to week. Now, I'm not saying Bears fans. He's going on the Bears. Like, no. Like, I'm not saying the Bears are going to go any further than the first round of the playoffs. But as of right now, they're a playoff team.
Well, I'm going to say this too. We're only 6 weeks in. The NFC East is very close to being the NFC least again right now. The way it's going. I am not liking what I'm seeing from the Eagles. Nobody is. No, I do have to talk about Nick Sirianni for a minute too.
Nick Sirianni should be fired.
I got to give a little take on that. And then just before I get into that, right, next week, the Eagles play the Giants.
Oh, well, you'll get back on track then.
I was going to see what you said. 1 p.m. on Sunday. Let's talk about Nick Sirianni for a minute. So for those of you not following the Eagles, which is many of you, looked to have been taunting the Philadelphia crowd towards the end of the game last night, causing a lot of commotion. I'm going to give an alternative take here because everyone's just talking about how ridiculous it is and disrespectful it is. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but this is my different take on Nick Sirianni. He's kind of acting like he's from Philadelphia, and that might be exactly what this team needs. All right. And I'm going to be, again, everybody likes to point the finger. We barely won a game against the Browns. But here's the deal. That guy is scrappy. He wants to win. I'm not saying he's going to win. All right. But you know what he's doing, Ray? He's putting a hell of a lot of attention on himself. And I do wonder if that's intentional. I do wonder if he's doing this to take the pressure off Jalen Hurts. Nobody talked about him at all in the press conference.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's doing this to take a lot of the pressure off the team. And I'm going to be honest with you, and people are going to say I'm crazy. He does seem like the guy that would be smart enough to do that, of to put himself on the bullseye, put himself on the cross, whatever metaphor you want to use here, and die on the hill, if you will. Now, here's the deal. If he doesn't win now, 100% fired. I mean, that was probably true before, but if they don't go on a massive winning streak here, he probably will be fired because of his conduct. He did have to give a little bit of an apology to fans, but I wanted to give this take. I'm wondering if there's some evil genius at work here of putting it all on him, letting the fans hate on him, and keeping the pressure off the team. We will find out. We'll see what happens. Look, at the end of the day, it's an ugly win against the Browns, but it's a win. And at the end of the day, you got to look at it like that. Same thing for the Cowboys, too. It's a horrible loss, just a loss. It's how you respond to it. So I wanted to put that take out there, Ray. I'd love your thoughts on that, too, because, again, it is weird. But at the same time, we saw Nick Castellanos just a couple weeks ago kind of mutter under his breath something negative about the fans. He went and got the game-winning hit. Nobody cared. Right, but that grittiness, pun intended, people love that in Philadelphia. So everyone's hating on the guy. I'm like, he's just kind of throwing it back at the fans. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but we'll find out.
No, we will find out, and I definitely don't think of any evil geniuses in Philadelphia. But
we all think we're evil Jesus. Yeah, no, we all think we're evil geniuses. There's definitely no evil Jesuses here.
That would be something. But yeah, no, I think. We'll see. I don't think he's that smart. I really don't.
We'll find out. All right. Look. Yeah. There's a lot of data to support what you just said, but I'm gonna see what happens. Like again, I'm not trying to be optimistic here. This is just me being curious, right? Yeah. I have seen coaches do this in the past. They put all the heat on themselves to take it off the team. It's a real fine line to walk.
Sure. And like you said, it's a risky strategy.
You get fired if you don't win, big time, right?
Now it is do or die time. And I think, like you said, he kind of knew it was do or die time because he knows. He knew he was on the hot seat. I mean, and look,
the alternative is he's just a jackass. I mean, that could be true too.
That's also possible. See, there's a lot more of those in Philadelphia.
I think that's the easy thing to call out. I do wonder if this guy knows what he's doing. And again, like that, I think that's a pretty fair thing. I don't know if he knows what he's doing. We'll find out.
Yeah, we don't know, and that's
a lot of Belichick talk in Philadelphia right now. That would be funny.
That would be something else. Absolutely,
especially if he comes here and wins somehow. Anyway, let's keep moving. NFL,
but yeah, no, a lot of really interesting week for the NFL for sure. So Jets lost again, Cowboys lost again, Giants lost again,
Commanders won. Again,
Commanders lost
again.
Yeah, Commanders lost. Commanders lost. Commanders lost 30-23. A great game. This was a great game for the Commanders. They're showing that they are on the upswing, right? Like obviously Baltimore now, everything's clicking for them. I said it would after that 0-2 start. They've won 4 in a row now. But the Commanders hung with the Ravens right up until the end.
They're for real.
They are for real, and right now probably looking like it looks like it's a 2-horse race in the NFC East. Again, not to say Dallas can't get back into it.
No, it was a good week for the Eagles. The Eagles are the only team to move up this week. I mean, it's best case scenario. And look, next week is big for the Eagles too. But I'm going to maintain it, Ray. I mean, you joked about this being an easy game, Eagles-Giants. I do not trust NFC's matchups ever.
Nor should you. Also want to just briefly mention, if you all saw my Wednesday TikTok where I make my predictions.
You're on TikTok?
I am on TikTok. At Ray Carsillo. Your boy, for the first time in his life,
undefeated,
got every pick right.
Defeated.
14-0. I picked every game winner correctly.
You should retire on top.
I should, but now people want more.
Now you want more.
I can't. I got a whole season left.
By the way, if you're listening and you have a gambling addiction, there are numbers that you can call.
Yes. And look, I'm not telling you. And by the way, I don't pick with the spread. I don't pick any of that garbage.
Pick with your brain.
I just be like, it's like 2 teams. And I'm like, that's the team that's going to win. That's it. Straight up pick them. That's it. But so we'll see how we do this week. But 14-0, I was like, oh my gosh! And of course I knew I came on to the Bills and Jets, and I'm like, watch the freaking Jets screw me over from having a perfect week.
It would have made sense.
The Bills were able to win an ugly second half. By the way, that was an ugly, as usual. Bills Jets always an ugly game, but the Bills won. The better team won. And that is the NFL for this week. We're gonna move now over to hockey. We got some hockey news. First off,
hockey.
We're talking about hockey season has started. First, we congratulate. This is a great story. Jessica Campbell up in Seattle, the first woman coach in NHL history. She's an assistant coach for the Seattle Kraken, and they lost their opening game. But It was still
But they
amazing to
won.
see, but that they won overall. And it was just a really great moment. She looks like she belongs, and that's the way it.
Well, she does belong, and
yeah, exactly.
it is a glass ceiling being broken in the game. And you know what the cool thing, Ray, is nobody on the ice had any problem with it. So I hope this opens up some other doors for women in the NHL and in hockey in general. But it was a cool moment to see. It was a cool thing to experience as a hockey person. You know what I mean? As a positive, and the audience has matured enough to not be stupid about it. So congratulations to her, and good on the Kraken for doing this. It wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a move they decided to make.
It was the best person for the job.
Right.
And honestly, and again, and we say this, we have said this for years on this show. We don't care if you are man, woman, child, black, blue, purple, green, yellow, red, orange, white, whatever. If you can help my team win, put on a uniform and let's go.
Unless you're the Marlins.
Or in this case, a suit.
Yeah, just not the Marlins, though. They don't like that.
They don't like that. But no, it was this is a great story, and the Kraken are gonna. I think the Kraken are gonna be very competitive this year.
Yeah, the interesting story with the start of the NHL season is guess who's sucking again? The Edmonton Oilers have been horrendous. They've scored 3 goals in their first few games. Interesting. It is way too early to say anything, but I'm interested to see, was that a flash in the pan last year? Is it too top heavy on that team?
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. There's a lot of publicity on them before the season with that documentary on Amazon. They got that kind of crazy clip of McDavid screaming at his team.
He went nuts after they lost the third game.
Did not look good.
No.
But I don't think that was a bad on him. Just
no, not on him. Good. It's bad on the rest of the team.
That's a tough start to the season. Makes you wonder, does McDavid still have that locker room after that went public? Because I'll tell you what, man, like I'm a big believer. Like what happens in that room is kind of sacred. And they gave permission for Amazon to do that. And McDavid's a pretty dry person to begin with publicly. Yeah. So that interesting. It's an interesting start to the season here.
Yes, absolutely goes against his public persona in a big way. But honestly,
also got to talk about the Utah hockey team just starting to blaze.
Utah Hockey Club, got off to a 3-0 start before they lost to the Devils 3-0.
Yeah,
they beat the Rangers in overtime at the Garden. The Rangers 2-0-1 to start the year after a couple of dominating wins against Pittsburgh and the Red Wings, but lost a weird one. I don't know if you saw that game, Lee. That was a weird game against the Hockey Club.
Clayton Keller came after you. So fun start to the season. The Flyers are on the West Coast, and a lot of late nights for us right now, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, a couple of big fights in that Ranger Hockey Club game. A couple of game misconducts, a weird goal off the stanchions, a lot of no calls. Wes McCauley was very active that game, way more active than he should have been, in my personal opinion. But the Rangers, and then it was a 6-5 overtime loss. Shesterkin was not as sharp as the Rangers weren't particularly sharp in their home opener. Nope. And for Sam Rosen, by the way, who did get a nice tribute before the game for his kicking off his 40th and final season as the Ranger play-by-play man on television.
He's doing it right.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking and really quickly, speaking of doing things right, I guess after the Liberty bounced back, we're going to go head over to the WNBA now. The Liberty bounced back after a horrible record tying come from behind win for the Lynx, loss for the Liberty. In overtime, the Liberty blew a massive game 1 lead, and then absolutely just steamrolled them and finished well in game 2 to dominate. And even that best of 5 championship series at 1 game apiece. The Liberty and the Lynx have had the most finals appearance in WNBA history, but the Liberty are 0-5 in the finals, trying to win their first WNBA championship and bring a championship back to New York. We have been waiting. We have nothing. We have nothing, Lee, for 13 years. Nothing.
This might be your year. We'll see.
Yes, we'll see. We get a couple of things going there. So congratulations to the Liberty on pulling even, and hopefully next week we have congratulations on a championship. So
and again, I believe the WNBA also announcing they're going to 7-game series next year too,
which I think it's time for. I think it's absolutely been time for sure. This whole 3-5-5 thing is just kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
It almost exhibition like.
Oh, so you can justify it now.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Good luck transitioning out of this one.
I was gonna say, you know who's gonna have trouble justifying her actions?
There you
this
go.
week? Oh boy, we're heading to the geek section, folks. Put on your purple veils and your capes and your cloaks and grab a broomstick. It's Agatha all a long time, baby.
That's my best witch laugh I could do right now.
That was a great laugh. That was great.
Thanks, man. There was a great laugh in this episode. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. This, oh my God. Name of the episode, Darkest Hour, Wake Thy Power. Shortest episode so far of the series, only about 29 minutes, 33 if you count the credits. But this was Agatha's test on the road. And first off, gotta love again, this was like an 80s slumber party kind of vibe. And they pull out a Ouija board. And Agatha is haunted by her past actions, obviously destroying her coven way back when in the 17th century. And we also get finally the brief background on the Salem 7 here. Now, I want to mention this because in the comics, the Salem 7 are Agatha's grandchildren, right? They're her grandchildren. They are the children of Nicholas Scratch, who of course is obviously the child of Agatha. It does look like they are basically Nicholas Scratch is like dead in this.
Yeah, well, they essentially confirm it as
he's just a ghost.
That he's a ghost. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's interesting, and basically the Salem 7 are related to Agatha in a way, but they're kind of like maybe her cousins kind of thing, because basically they explain it as when Agatha killed her coven, the Salem 7 were the children of the coven members. And that basically with no one to raise them and no one to they kind of became quote unquote feral witches, which is why they take on these animal forms and kind of very druid-like actually in a lot of ways. And and obviously they're after Agatha because she killed all their moms. That's a pretty good reason to want to kill her. So still related to her, but not in the way as in the comics. But I love this idea. I think this is great that this is why the Salem 7 is after her. Right. And this is how they're related. Lee, what are your thoughts so far?
No, I mean, I love that they're connecting it back to WandaVision in that sense.
Yes.
So the story from that time period. Excuse me. And I also love that it's the connection there of there's something deeper behind the story of Agatha being able to absorb power. And it seems like she doesn't have a full control over that in terms of her need to do it. And they we'll get to that in a second. They hint that she doesn't know that she's necessarily doing it all the time.
Right.
And then her mother comes back too. And it was a kind of a fun, spooky scene. The Ouija board was used pretty well.
Yes.
But I like the connection to Agatha and, that she is more powerful or was more powerful than anyone realizes. It also kind of tells you how powerful the Scarlet Witch was, which we'll get to in a minute as well.
Yes, because basically the 7 witches gave their soul or gave their powers to Agatha because again, and she mentioned it early, and we've seen this before. She's like, if you blast her, she will absorb your power.
Yeah. And
we saw that in WandaVision. That's what
we don't know why. We don't know why that is, right? If that's like a superhero power or something else.
Right. Some kind of a curse, something like that. Yeah.
Or that she killed Nicholas Scratch for that. We don't know.
Right. And unfortunately, this was a very, very sad moment, is that to save Agatha from the possession of her mother, because everybody was willing to turn their backs on Agatha.
Yeah.
Which again, it's not that she didn't deserve it, but it was kind of sad to see. And then she gets possessed, and Alice, as the protector, steps up, blasts Agatha's mom out of Agatha's body, but by blasting Agatha absorbed her essence and her power, and Alice Gulliver is
DED, dead,
and she is now the second witch. She's now the second body, we'll say, at least if you count with Mrs. Hart. By the way, we have to mention that the impersonation of Catherine Hahn of Mrs. Hart's character, pretending to be possessed by her, was hysterical.
It's unbelievably good.
Hysterical, yeah. And then, so now this is the second person to die on the road and to die on the path. Actually, they hint that maybe everybody said at the end, but Lee, I want to get your thoughts on the scene first about Alice sacrificing herself unwittingly. And again, to your point, Agatha, it didn't look like she wanted to do it until and even then it wasn't until she heard Nicholas's
mommy,
ghost of
stop.
Nicholas's voice,
Mommy,
to
stop.
cut herself off, and she just couldn't.
Well, it makes me wonder if she's possessed or bewitched. There have been, I got to say, man, they've been hinting at Mephisto having a role in this for a while.
Yeah.
So I something might be at play there. All right. I would not be surprised if Mephisto in some form shows up in the show just because of all the hoopla about him in the WandaVision show.
Yeah.
But no, there was a reserved, I didn't mean to do that attitude. Yeah. And again, keeping this going, like, Teen confronts her about it, and it's pretty obvious that Agatha at first is like, I didn't mean to do that, but then she starts to feel her power come back because now she has some power again, which she didn't have to begin with. And that leads us to the next part. I do want to say before we get to the kind of the climax here, there was a great riding the broomstick scene right at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, the Hexenbesson.
It was beautifully done. I love it when witchcraft is explained because it's fun. But the scene where they're flying all screaming and there's just the greatest witch laugh out of
Agatha.
No, what's her name? Oh my goodness. Her girlfriend.
Oh yes. Oh, of course, Rio. Yes.
Yeah, Rio gives the best laugh.
Yes, her laugh was phenomenal as they're riding across the blood moon. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So it was well done. The road brings them back. But again, Agatha is confronted by Teen. She has kind of a moment of reckoning, and then she realizes she has her power back. And Ray, I'll let you take it over here.
Yeah. Also, just very briefly, also want to mention it's just a shame with Alice because it's like they just broke her family curse.
Well, that's why they killed her off because she had no need to be there anymore at that point.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Well, we know she could be a ghost too. Like that's
who knows what's going to happen. Who's going to know what's going to happen? But now we know that Teen knows who he is. And Agatha knows who he is. And boy, oh boy. You know what? For a second there, it's like, oh, now you're down a witch on the witch's road.
Right.
Oh, no. Oh, no, there's another witch amongst you. Or warlock in this case, as you'd say. And Teen, as we proposed at the very beginning.
Yeah, was not a red herring.
Is Wiccan. It is Billy. He is back. He is reincarnated. He has his mother's power, although he wields blue. It's blue
as he does in the comics. Yeah.
Yes, it's blue for him in the comics as well. Yes.
Yeah.
But just for those folks who are like, well, his mom's power was red, and here it's like it's different people.
It's still chaos magic. That's the point.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Exactly. And then of course he manifests a version of his mother's crown, similar to his crown from the comics, because he does wear one in the comics as well. And that's how this episode ends. Oh, by the way, with him also throwing all the other witches into the swamp sand, the quicksand. And they all kind of just go under, and it ends with him being this powerful being. Is it a dream sequence? Is it the truth? Are they all really drowned? Probably not. We got 4 episodes left.
That'd be a quick ending of the show. Curb Your Enthusiasm ending. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why shortest episode, but possibly the biggest cliffhanger, because here we are, Teen as Billy. I mean, it is confirmed. Like, I mean, the Marvel social media account
it's Billy. Yeah.
Said, yeah, Billy, pick up your crown, buddy. Like, or something like that. Like, put on your crown. Like, it's Billy. That is 100% now.
It makes you wonder, is Speed around?
Probably not on the Witch's Road, but probably somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. I mean, his brother's alive
maybe that's where the episode, maybe the series ends or whatever with that kind of thing.
They also kind of hint that, is he trying? What's his intention? Right. That's the other thing we didn't discuss. Like, we know what he just did. Is he trying to resurrect the Scarlet Witch? Is he trying to get back at Agatha? Does he know what this means? Does he know that he's Billy? Right. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of scenarios here. There's some comics too that he's kind of reincarnated in someone else's body, right? That person that might not even know who he is, and this has been awakened.
He's been reincarnated a couple of times. Like the Maximoff children have been reincarnated a couple of times.
Will Magneto show up? No, but we will all love for that. The grandfather, just so you don't know, that's his grandfather.
Yes.
No, we don't talk about it enough.
Yep. But yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But and again, we talked about this for a long while. It really feels like they really want to build the Young Avengers, and Wiccan and Speed are part of that.
They're 100% doing that.
Yeah,
that's a big part. Like I think everybody forgets Ray, at the end of Hawkeye, that's what she's doing. She's starting to get people together. I'm sorry, at the end of I apologize. It was the end of the Marvels.
Right.
Hawkeye, the Lady Hawkeye, what do you want to call her?
Yeah.
Is getting Miss Marvel together. Like she's getting the Young Avengers together. So like,
yeah,
another storyline that gets easily forgotten with all the stupid storylines Marvel had been doing. But I don't think they're straying away from this one. I think they're trying to make the Young Avengers.
I think so too.
And again, the big prediction that I have for wherever they're going is it's not going to be the Avengers versus a Thanos. It's going to be teams versus, I guess, Doom now, right?
Right.
So you got the Young Avengers team. You got obviously the new Avengers that are going to be coming out. Yep. You've got the Thunderbolts already there.
Yep.
I would not be surprised.
You're going to probably have the Midnight Suns.
I was going to say Midnight Suns is probably coming, right?
Because
and I'm not against that one.
Because they just announced season 2 of Moon Knight is happening.
Right. And I'm not against the Midnight Suns. I hope they work Blade into that without having to ruin everything.
Yes.
So I'm, like I said, that's what, 4 teams we just mentioned. Oh, the X-Men are going to play into this.
Yeah.
Right. We know that. So that's probably what's happening. I just really look forward to that scene where Doom finds the Council of Kangs and just destroys them all in one shot.
Yes. He's just like,
whoops. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be great. And I mean, it's a shame. It is a shame that there were a couple of ties to Kang in this. Obviously got cut, supposedly. That like the Darkhold was going to be something that he had created, but like honestly, you don't need it at this point anyway.
No. I mean, look, they got to find a way out of that story somehow. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of seeing what happens, I can't wait to see how this series goes.
It's awesome. The show is great. I mean, again, we talked about this years ago. It's making the WandaVision story a little better.
Yes.
Right? And that's what it needed. And again, it continues in its episodic nature. It is well done. And Catherine Hahn has always been an underestimated actress.
100%.
And I'm hoping that this changes that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she should get all the Emmys for this. All the Emmys.
100%.
Moving on, you know who's not going to win any awards anytime soon? Bandai Namco. This is probably one of the most Japanese things I've ever heard. They are doing what is called an oidashi beya. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Where they don't want to fire you because they don't want to have to pay you a severance. So they are isolating you. They are not giving you any work. And they are basically in the hopes that you quit. They are just hoping that you quit. They're still paying you. They're still paying you to do a job, but they're basically giving you no work. And they're isolating you within your office. And supposedly 100 people so far have quit in this oidashi beya from Bandai Namco. And they're looking to have another 100 to 200 quits in the next several months as they pull off this this really weird form of social almost social torture in the workplace to force people to quit in order to avoid paying their severance.
Whereas in this country, quiet quitting is a way of life.
Oh yeah, that's what I was joking with some friends. People were like, I would never quit. Are you kidding? That's what that's my dream. Well, my dream is to just get paid to do nothing.
It shows you the cultural differences between the two countries in the sense of, here it's like, wait, I can just bring a book, get a coffee, read, and you're going to pay me to do this. But over there, and again, look, there are positives and negatives to what I'm about to say. There's such pride in the company and in the job and in the purpose of that role that this is torture for that society. And again, I could go either way on that of whether that's right or wrong. I do think that the best version of that is actually somewhere in the middle. I think you should want to feel good about going to work with your company, but not be a slave to your company. Yes. Imagine that concept. But it's an interesting way of looking at it, Ray. And again, it shows you how Japanese culture is so different from ours. And I'm not saying in a bad way. It's just different.
Yeah. No, exactly. It is.
Ray, this does seem like an opportune time to bring up the position of couch potato here at my office. We are hiring for a couch potato. The prerequisites are simple. You have to be named Ray Carsillo, have gone to Montclair State somewhere around the turn of the century, and be extremely irritable. And you must like chips and TV.
Very
so if you're listening to this and you have those qualifications, and by incessant mumbling is also one of the qualifications. If you have that, it's not an odashi beya. It is a obey Leah, and come be on the couch here as the official couch potato. You get a boss. Savi, you can be the boss.
Savi can be the boss.
All right. Savi can give
and then I tell him about the overlay, and then I get fired.
I mean, I can see Savi. Are you couching? I'm couching. All right. Don't forget the potato. You would never say that. That's a thing I would say. I'm a dad. But anyway, yes, open position. We have not put this on Upwork. We are accepting one applications at this time.
One application.
Applications.
Every day that goes by, that gets more.
And I want to apologize to my team here. We are not hiring from within. This is not a lateral move.
This is an external position only.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh gosh. Oh goodness. No, I appreciate it, buddy. I always do.
I want the listeners. We have loyal listeners, Ray. One day I will get a picture of Ray on this couch next to me.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Well, speaking of my jobs and former jobs, really quickly, I will add this to the
Please.
show. This happened. It's actually kind of derailed my morning a little bit because I didn't know.
This is awesome though. And I was very happy. I will let you break the news, but I was very, very actually happy to read. I even said, did you know about this? Because if you didn't, I would have been mad.
Yeah, no, I did know, and I did sit down for an interview for this for 3 hours. So I am officially. It's true. I am on. My name is on the Kickstarter because I am a part of this. EGM is doing a historical compendium, basically. For those who don't know, EGM was the first video game magazine that went for 20. It was for a long time. It was the longest running one. It went for 26 years. Game Informer, I think, in the end, did actually beat EGM in total run length, but we were the first. And I spent I was there for 7 of those 26 years. As reviews, primarily as reviews editor. I started as an associate editor, moved up to reviews, and then even later reviews and previews. And we're putting together. Well, not me. I was part of it, but there are a couple of other former folks. They are putting together a compendium. It's every issue of the magazine. 264 issues will be available in a digital compendium. You're also going to get a very nice special hardcover, massive book that goes through the history, highlighting those 264 issues. Again, interviews from dozens of former staff, dozens of former of game devs, dozens of influencers, and just kind of what Electronic Gaming Monthly meant. Kind of like it's almost like a time capsule to a quarter century of video gaming and what EGM meant. The Kickstarter kicked off literally about an hour ago or 2 hours ago, folks. From when we're recording this, and we're recording this on October the 15th. You at this point just Google EGM compendium, or maybe Zabi can put a link in the description or something if people are legit curious.
We can do that.
Yeah,
it can be done.
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, this is touching. We're in the first 2 hours. We're 90% of the way there.
Are you really? No way.
We've raised $30,000 of the $35,000 that we're.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I'm looking. I don't believe you. I'm going to this right now. Hold on.
Yes, and in Ray, fact, and continuing to climb.
Ray, let me see this. Hold on. Oh my God, you did.
Yeah, we have 3.
When I looked at this, it was at like 2,000, and I remember thinking that's a long way to go. Well, yeah. Ray, since we're on the air,
we have a lot of stretch goals. Right. I keep saying we, but again, I'm a contributor. It's not my thing, but I think it would be really cool if this got made. I think it'd be really cool if people really cared. There are stretch goals going all the way up to $250,000. 40,000, it's a bigger book. 45,000, you get a special ribbon bookmark. 50,000, again, bigger book with a special secret expansion we haven't announced yet. 60,000, secret expansion number 2. 70,000, you get review crew bookmarks. 80,000, secret expansion number 3. 90,000, secret expansion number 4. 100,000, an expanded digital archive that includes EGM 2 and a whole lot more from the EGM archive. 125,000, expansion number 5. 150,000, full conversion, expanded digital archive, and 250,000. 250,000 would be amazing because myself and a whole lot of the old crew will come back together for one more ride, for one more special issue of the magazine that we will do that will kind of be like a full, kind of like the end, kind of like a prologue or final chapter. But yeah, it's really cool to see that people have responded the way they have. Again, this was something that was 7 years of my life, and people seem to be really responding well to it, and it's touching, and probably not from nothing probably nothing from I did. Nobody cares that I worked there.
Oh, don't do
probably more like the shoe era.
That's poop. Like that. What you just did. You have a major role in this magazine's history.
So, but yeah, so that's a cool thing. EGM, the Electronic Gaming Monthly Compendium, EGM, that is now just Kickstarter just went off. If you are interested, feel free to donate. If not, that's cool too. But it was really cool it was really touching to be asked to be part of it. It's to come back with the crew, some of my crew that are still among us. Some folks were not asked back. It's not my call. It's not my project again, but I was touched. So I was touched to be asked back. And yeah, so there you go.
Well, Ray, I'm happy to let you know that as a supporter of you and as of supporter of Geeks Who Like Sports, we have just purchased a $150 package to back this up.
You did not have to do this.
No, I kind of did. Because remember, you threatened me before the show. You were like, if you don't do this live on the air, I'm going to come over.
I didn't say that.
You want a couch potato? How about a dead couch?
I did not do that.
I mean, Savi, you're lucky. He's nodding his head. Maybe that didn't happen. No, joking aside, not only will we be backing this project, Ray, but when the stuff comes in the off chance you don't get some of this stuff, I will be handing this to you. Because you deserve to have this in your home and doing it. So I'm doing it as we're speaking right now. I am literally doing this. You don't have to keep on the air, but we are happy as a team here to be doing the $150 package to support you and the compendium.
That's unbelievably kind and completely unnecessary. But
no, it is necessary. I'm not kidding right now. That is absolutely necessary as your friend.
Well, I really appreciate that. So. Yeah, so again, it's really weird to be talking about like archives and stuff of my life, but yeah, 7 years. I wrote hundreds and hundreds of reviews, and and it's a cool trailer. I think they got it sounds like the Mega 64 guy. They got some to do the voiceover. They got a real professional, which is really cool.
Aren't you a real professional? They didn't get you?
Yeah, but whatever, it's fine. They wanted a voice that probably would get recognized in the gaming industry.
That's not you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying nothing. But it is what it is. No, that's fine, and it just it is a really cool trailer, and I think this will be a really cool thing for anybody who was a fan of the magazine, or again, just looking for a time capsule of 25 years of gaming history.
Well, so. I just got it. Thank you, Elias. You just backed Electronic Gaming Monthly Compendium. Your pledge brings this project one step closer to becoming a reality. I'm happy to do it, Ray. And you are now very, very close to your goal. I can't believe someone must have done a massive gift in the last hour.
Somebody must have done a big you know what? So well, not really, because there was only 12 $250 versions, and they're all gone.
Yeah. Well, it's at 32,195. That is unbelievable. Yeah, you have 354 backers, right? That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And that too, the $150 value is there's only 250 of those.
Yeah, well, I got one of them.
And I appreciate it. And then everything you can go up to. We have I don't want to say unlimited, but you can, and there's many people as they want can do up to the $75 version and whatnot. So there's a lot of special goodies in the $150 and $250 versions.
Yeah, so, well, that's why I did it. And again, I want to make sure you get everything. I don't want you to get shortchanged. So I'm serious, man. If some reason they don't hand you that book, you're going to get one from me.
I appreciate it, and I will be pretty disappointed if they don't give me a copy of the book too.
I'm sure you'll get a digital version. 100% chance, a digital version of that.
Yeah, digital version.
We'll talk about that off the air. But listen, real quick, got minor breaking sports news.
Oh,
that we should probably discuss real quick. So the Phillies have extended Rob Thompson.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think it does. A lot of people calling for his head, and I'm like,
No.
guys, we went from being crap to the World Series, and we are very much in the window. And I do want to say I agree with this decision. Until the Phillies are out of the playoffs, this guy should be the manager.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's his fault that the team
Not at all.
didn't hit the way that they should have hit.
Not at all. So sorry, I started to bring back the sports section there, but I did just see that, and we both agree.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's a great way to wrap things up here on Geeks Who Like Sports. So for Lee, I'm Ray. Thanks everybody for listening in and listening to me ramble about my past there.
Get the compendium. If anything, get it just to say the word compendium. It's an awesome word.
It is a great word. It's
all right,
great
top 10
word.
Top 10 words in the English language. It's not there, but it's fun to say. Compendium.
High quality word. But yeah, so thanks again everybody for listening. We really, really appreciate it. For Lee, I'm Ray. This has been Geeks Who Like Sports. We'll see you all next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Yes, like the show, share it, and make sure that you subscribe.
Compendium.